I had a client who asked me to give a quote for services for facility management using BIM. So that is the time that I recalled, and I decided, yes, I think so. It's time that we should have a lecture on facility management, so that we can all be prepared when we enter the field. We are at least introduced to this concept. So at this stage, I would like to ask you first, Ki, what do you know about facility management? So can you one of you just unmute your mic and just let me know what do you think you know about the facility management, please?
Managing the entire facility in regards with the requirements day-to-day basis and service maintenance and everything.
Acha, let me reframe the question. Why did you choose facility management for this elective? Can anybody answer this question?
So because it will involve all the services that includes in the building. So it will cover like all the services for the building.
Okay, that's one reason. Anybody else?
Sir, modern buildings need facilities.
So you mean to say the old buildings don't need it?
They are also needed, but modern buildings are designed involving all the facilities.
So the modern construction involves a lot of activities. So to understand the services and their capable functionalities and how they work like harmoniously within them. So understanding everything is under facility management.
Okay, that's okay. And something else?
For coordinating all the services within the building.
हाँ वो तो ठीक है, but why did you choose it as an elective? You guys have fair understanding of what facility management is, but I'm a little curious कि आप लोग ने why did you choose this kind of a thing? What? Okay, so I've got the little bit of answers what you guys have given. So let me tell you, I was made aware of this concept of facility management sometime in 2007. Okay, about 13 years back. And I only became aware of this. I'm an architect. So the reason why I became aware was because my wife had got a job and she had a designation called workspace planner. Initially, मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया था कि ये designation क्या है. But when she used to talk about her work, at that time I realized that this service is actually a money spinner. You can really make a very good career out of it. If you want a job, you can get a very good and a well-paying job. If you want to start a business or you want to start a practice, this is something that can really make you earn a lot of money. So you can just think of it, just like you think about in a hospital, कि hospital can never be out of business. Similarly, till a time a facility exists, it will always be needed. So मैंने ये realize किया कि ये जब मैंने as usual I always refer to the NBC. When I looked at the concepts that I have to teach you about this, I realized कि it can tend to get a little theoretical, and it's a new subject. And I'm very glad that your institute actually offers you. It's a very brilliant elective that you guys have chosen. So I will take a very short lecture on this, and I will introduce you to some very, very basic concepts, and I will familiarize you to this topic so that, you guys have said something, but what I see missing is an articulation of what you want to say. You know it, but you are unable to put some words to it. So later on, if the semester allow, Kranti sir can kind of arrange another lecture and all, so we can talk into the details about it. But till then, let's just familiarize ourselves for this lecture. So I will like to begin with a very nice video on facility management. So in case you don't hear any sound in the next slide, you have to tell me, because it's important that you hear the sounds.
Did you know that only about 20% of the total cost of your building is spent during design and construction, while 80% is expended during operations? Are you aware of the tremendous inefficiencies in building data transfer from the design team to the construction crew and later handover to the facilities management team? Are you aware of the incredible waste of time of facilities workforce trying to find critical asset information within this mess or not finding it at all? Besides, not having good data available means poor asset maintenance, which is equal to higher utility bills, unpredicted failures, shorter asset lifespan, and higher replacement costs equals to unhappy occupants. Nowadays, that more and more projects are using BIM to be designed and built, and the owner may receive good data-rich building information models, documents, and data as a construction handover. But the reality is, facility managers and technicians are typically not BIM software experts and should not be. They just need to access the information. How cool would it be accessing building information and assets location as simple as finding your nearest restaurant on Google Maps? Using a tool that doesn't need BIM skills, that doesn't require software installation.
So could you guys hear the audio?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
so,
sir. Getting the audio.
Perfect. So what are your reactions? What did you understand from this short video?
In the total project life cycle, 80% of the cost is being implied for the operations and maintenance.
Exactly. Very good. Keep going. Keep going.
So better managing the facility at that portion in the operation and maintenance stage would give better yield.
Can you give an example of that 20 and 80%? Can you give an example?
Get you, sir.
I'm sorry.
I didn't get you, sir. Example in
Okay. Can you example of can you make a scenario where you can understand this 20 and 80%? From a relevant example that you can give which illustrates this concept of 20% and 80%. Okay. So you think of it like, let's consider air conditioner, okay, in your house. So there is a one-time expense of buying an air conditioner and fitting it. That is a one-time expenditure. And the other expenditure is till you throw away that air conditioner, the cost associated with it. So the entire thing of 20% is represented by your cost of the air conditioner and the installation cost. And rest of the 80% is the money that you spend for rest of the life of the air conditioner. मतलब उसका maintenance करना पड़ेगा, उसमें gas leak हो गई है तो you have to fill in the gas. You have to keep on repairing the air conditioner. You will have to clean the filters, replace the filters, replace the piping if the piping goes bad. So all of that will represent 80% of the cost. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now the concept that you saw was that there is something called an asset. And for acquiring that asset, you have something that you have to spend the money. And then you have to spend the money to use the asset also. One is to get the asset, you have to spend some money. And there is some money that you have to spend for using that assets in its useful life. So that constitutes the 80% thing. So that was the first story for me. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, what was the second concept you heard in that video?
Sir, BIM.
Yeah, say that please.
Sir, asset management.
Before that, there was something he spoke about.
So
See,
one
there was
thing,
some. Please.
one thing they were saying is like there's data which gets missing over the time when it comes to execution.
Exactly. Say that. Elaborate on it.
Like the design team would have designed a certain building facilities in a particular order. When it comes to execution, there are chances that they will miss some part of it. And again, when it comes to facilities, there are again chances that it will miss something above from it. So in a way, subsequently, they'll miss out a lot of data and then they'll face certain problems because of it.
Good. So what they spoke about is a translation and transfer of information from one stage to another. So they said that there is a very big chance that when the person, after the contractor finishes the execution on site, he has to transfer this data to the facility team. So that means that it goes to the owner team. Okay. And owner team ko when he gives him the bunch of drawings, you see that he dropped one drawing he dropped. And then that guy will just take it and dump it inside a room, which is already overflowing with information. Now, 99% of the buildings in India face this problem of data translation or data transition. Sorry, not transmission, transition. When the data changes hand, the data gets lost or it is already in a format that people can't understand. So if you remember the first part of our plumbing lecture, we talked about post-installation documentation, right? So all of this comes into play here. Now, the third part was the facility management team will consist of a lot of people from diverse background, and they will not be able to use your BIM. They will not be architects also most of the time. They might be some mechanical engineer, or they might be somebody who has just graduated over a period of time as a HR person who has graduated and who's looking after the O&M. So when I use O&M, the word means operation and maintenance. All right. So there are 3 lessons to be learned. That just imagine there is a lot of business in capturing the data. There's a lot of business in handling the data, and there is a lot of business opportunities in using the data. So once you choose a particular line, you have a lot of money to make. So keeping this in mind, let's watch the video once again. It's just a small video, but I would want you to understand what it says.
Did you know that only about 20% of the total cost of your building is spent during design and construction, while 80% is expended during operations? Are you aware of the tremendous inefficiencies in building data transfer from the design team to the construction crew and later handover to the facilities management team? Are you aware of the incredible waste of time a facilities workforce trying to find critical asset information within this mess or not finding it at all? Besides not having good data available means poor asset maintenance, which is equal to higher utility bills, unpredicted failures, shorter asset lifespan, and higher replacement costs equals to unhappy occupants. Nowadays, that more and more projects are using BIM to be designed and built, and the owner may receive good data-rich building information models, documents, and data as a construction handover. But the reality is, facility managers and technicians are typically not BIM software experts and should not be. They just need to access the information. How cool would it be accessing building information and assets location as simple as finding your nearest restaurant on Google Maps? Using a tool that doesn't need BIM skills, that doesn't require software installation.
Okay. Now let's jump to the next slide. Now, how many of you have encountered this term COBie?
I think
That
no.
is, I'm sorry?
I think no one, sir. I haven't encountered with this term.
Okay. So let me just explain to you this term. So if you guys are a computer techie or something, or if you guys are interested in FM, then this is the term that you will encounter very regularly once you enter the profession. Okay. So for example, we know ki for doing BIM, the most common platform is Revit. You also have ArchiCAD and Bentley which does that, but most common is Revit. But there is a problem. The format in which Revit works is proprietary format. इसका मतलब ये है कि nobody else can interpret what is written inside except the Revit software. All right. So what you need to understand is that, okay, let me take a very different example. Microsoft Word was released sometime in 1983. That is the time before you guys were born. Okay, 40 years back. And at that time, before that, there used to be a software called WordPerfect. That was in 1979. And then there was before that a software called WordStar. That was in 1978. And those times governments made tons and tons of documents on the computer. And those documents still are used. Now, when you look at those documents, imagine that if you open those documents today, will you be able to see the formatting is exactly how it was intended? Will you see whether the data that has opened up in the new files is 100% accurate? It will not be. Because these are very, very antiquated systems. And it is already, just imagine, 40 to 50 years since people are making documents on the computer. So at that time, government decided, listen, there are so many systems, it is something that we have to adopt an open system so that everybody can have a common standard. So they asked everybody. Microsoft said, we'll make a secret format, which is the .doc format. We'll make it open. So anybody can open a document, a .doc file. So you see today, every software that you have will have an option of opening a .doc format. Similarly, Adobe said, we'll make the PDF open. So any software you see on the net or anywhere you see, it will be able to open a PDF document. Your AutoCAD also can open a PDF document. Autodesk actually announced that we'll make the .dwg a format which can be opened by everybody. So you will see all the applications, whoever has made, whether it is ZWCAD, whether it is AutoCAD, whether it is Bentley, or it is ArchiCAD, every software will be open to open a document which will have a .dwg. So these are the formats that the government developed. Now, BIM also lives, I told you earlier, BIM lives in a proprietary format called .rbt. Okay, that's the file for the Revit extension. So, and this, with Revit, it's a problem that every year the file format gets changed. So the older systems, if you have an older version of Revit, it cannot open the new versions of the Revit files. If something is made in Revit 2018, okay, if something is made in Revit 2020, it cannot be opened in Revit 2018. So that is the limitation that happens. So that's why there was a need of a common non-proprietary data format for the graphic information, which is a subset of BIM models. So they said that we want something like that. And it should have a focus of, delivering data which is different from just the geometric information. So in BIM models at LOD 400 and above, you will try and put the system information also inside. So if you put a door, you will say that this is the manufacturer of the door. If you put in an air conditioner, you will say this is the model of the air conditioner. This is the name of the buyer. This is the product catalog. So you will have all kind of data. So COBE comes into play here. COBE stands for Construction, Operation, Building, Information Exchange. So what it will do is, it will take a non-proprietary, it will collect all the data into non-proprietary format that can be used in different facility management software. So you will have tons of facility management softwares in which the COBE data will be used. Okay, so one of the serious players in the field of computer-based FM is Autodesk. And they have a subscription model by the name of BIM 360 Ops. So there are others also. But for this lecture, I have chosen this Autodesk platform because it seems to be a familiar. So till this stage, are you now aware of what a COBie is?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, before we dive into the lecture, I would like to show you another video which will talk a little bit about the BIM 360 operation, OPS. Okay, let's see that.
BIM 360 Ops helps building owners realize the operating potential of their buildings. With a modern mobile-first approach, Ops places asset and maintenance information in the hands of those who need it, when and where they need it. For managers, technicians, and building occupants, Ops is organized using a dashboard, list, and graph views that provides role-based, contextually relevant information in a way that is immediately actionable. Speech-to-text conversion, automated categorization, and the capture of photos and videos speed data entry. Scheduled tasks and reusable checklists make setting up a preventative maintenance program easier. Assets may be exported directly to Ops from BIM 360 Field and Revit, or imported via CSV, providing a better handover experience and jump-starting maintenance. A collaborative platform for building operations, BIM 360 Ops helps building owners realize the operating potential of their building.
So what you saw is the kind of service that the client wanted from me. They wanted the data of a fully coordinated drawing so that it could be translated into a FM model, which they could use for managing the facilities that they were making. Is this concept understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any doubts till this stage?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. So now let's move to the next part, which is a theoretical part. And, you know, by now, I think so you will have become clear of what FM is, what facility management is. But there are some theoretical concepts that you need to understand. So you see in front of you, there are two set of words written. One set of words talks about culture and vision, and the second one talks about maintenance and repair. So let's look at some concepts about your culture and your vision. Actually, some of you may think कि ये क्या सर अभी आप लोग vision और culture के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. This sounds a little silly, sir. इसका क्या काम है? But you know, my 25 years of experience tells me that one has to be visionary in all the businesses, and these two things will allow you to go beyond today. It will allow you to go beyond the next week and beyond that next month. So let me make you understand the meaning of these two words. And for that, I will use my business as an example. So, you know, apart from the things I do, I also look after the IT infrastructure at my company. So my vision when I started was that I decided something would be my vision, and I publicly announced it so that I am judged by that vision. So the vision I gave to my company was that my IT infrastructure should be so robust that it should not give any employee a reason not to work. मतलब चाहे कोई भी मेरा IT infrastructure इतना robust होना चाहिए कि कोई भी employee ये ना बोल सके सर हम काम इसलिए नहीं कर पाए because the computer systems were not working or the LAN was not working. So this is the time in 2006 when we created an infrastructure for our office, and it was such an infrastructure that even an MNC, I could compete with an MNC also with that kind of infrastructure. और उसका result क्या है कि during this COVID lockdown, we have not lost a single hour of billing. We are doing designing, we design a lot of hospitals, we are doing hospitals, we design it, हमारी meetings हो रही हैं, हमारा production work चल रहा है, contractor के साथ बात हो रही है, although the site construction activity has not yet started in Delhi, but ये सब कुछ हो रहा है, and we have not lost out on any of the working that we used to do. If we needed some high-end desktops, we have created on Amazon Workspace, Amazon Cloud. There is something called Amazon Web Services on which we have created these desktops and we are using it remotely. They are expensive, but we have created an infrastructure. So that was my vision. And the culture of my firm, it was that, I work in a partnership. So in that partnership, we decided that every work will always be supervised by one of the partners. And it will never be left. Some project comes in, we'll never leave it to some junior ki tu karte fir, and we will just do the billing. So this was the culture. And this culture has allowed us to retain the clients. And most of the clients we have are repeat clients. So culture is what you pass on to your people and your customer and also your employees, your maintenance people, your supply people, your purchasing people. For example, another culture we have in our office was that no contractor, no bills in the office will remain unpaid for more than 2 weeks. It is not that somebody will come in and hand over a bill and it gets paid immediately. Supposing a stationery wala comes in and he gives the stationery and we pay him right there and then. So we need time to process it. There are a lot of signatures that need to be happening. So we decided that 2 weeks is the maximum time that a bill will stay in our system. So these are the kind of cultures. So the vendors also know it. The suppliers also may know it. The maintenance guy also know it. Ki yaar, is office mein they have to be proactive and they have to make sure that no work is left pending. Now this is what the culture is there that you can pass it on to your employees, your customers, and everybody that you encounter. So in fact, the working is such in my office that person who undergoes the rigors of my office can work anywhere in the country. It is so harsh. And he can also start their own practice with confidence. So what one should actually attempt to do is that there should be a good culture and that culture should match your vision. Now, all of this is that you have to remember, this is all very important to understand if you're getting into FM. And now the next important concept that you need to understand, the second set of words on your screen, is something called maintenance and repair. So again, I would ask someone of you, can you please explain me the difference between these two words?
Sir, maintenance is a precautionary action. Like you maintain considering the time cycle of your components that you are installing. Well, repair is it's the immediate action that you'll take after breakdown.
Good. Very good. Anybody else?
So maintenance is like having a standard operation procedure once in a while, and repair is taken care of when something goes off out of scale or something like that.
You were a little off the scale. Okay, Ganesh, you tell me.
Sir, maintenance is to prevent breakdown. Repair is to means after breakdown we will do the repair.
All right, you guys are almost right on all the three of you are right. So there is a proper set of words that I found it, that I wanted to tell you. Maintenance is like keeping the assets in a state it was when it was brand new. So I'll repeat it. Maintenance is taking care of your equipment. Okay. So that means that when you use the word taking care, it means that maintenance is the work that you do in keeping the word assets. I'm again stressing on the word assets in a state like it was when when it was brand new. Okay. So you can choose the set of words to change your definition of maintenance, that you would like to keep the asset in the state like it was when it was brand new. Now, repair is something. Repair is fixing after an asset has failed. So it means that repair is to put back something in good condition after some kind of damage has happened to it. So if you are in a firm, a facility management firm, so you have to ask yourself, am I going to be a repair organization or I aim to be a maintenance organization? That is your vision. There's nothing wrong in choosing either of it, but this is an important question. There are a lot of people who have studied facility management and they get into the repair organization only. But the better aim is to be a maintenance organization. The business in that field is really immense. So I hope I'm able to drill this question of maintenance and repair very nicely to you.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
okay, now if you can answer that question honestly, then you can start deciding कि आपका direction क्या है, where you want to go into the future. Because the ultimate goal that I would choose, if I had a choice of being at your age, I would decide that my goal would be to be a maintenance organization 80 to 90% of my time, and only 10 to 20% I would choose to be a repair organization. Because if I choose repair as a culture, then I will always think that asset, I will only have to act when the asset stops working. Before that, I don't need to do anything. So many people actually operate in that fashion. And the sad part is that it is a reactive method. Matlab, the work is controlling you. You are not controlling the work. Now, right now you guys are studying, so you don't understand this concept of work controlling you. So, but if you guys are had some work experience, you will realize that you will never like to be in a situation when work controls how you behave. So most of the people will say, maintaining a like new condition is too expensive. We can't afford it. But you remember the asset life. You remember in the first video, we saw that 80% of the asset cost is something like you have to spend after the operation, after you acquire the assets. So now the thing is that if you check the asset life, it is actually 4 to 6 times more cheaper if you maintain an asset in a very nice, like new condition. So you catch a set of words which is called the like new conditions. So if you maintain an asset in a like new condition, it turns out that people have found that it is 4 to 6 times cheaper. Example I would like to give you is an air conditioner. So you buy an air conditioner and you continue to operate it every season, and you don't get it serviced. You don't clean the filter regularly. तो होगा क्या कि थोड़े दिन के बाद, at the worst possible time, तुम्हारा को it will let you down. काम नहीं कर रहा, गर्मी peak गर्मी आ गई है and it's not working. So the key is that with a little bit of effort and a little bit of preventive maintenance, you will have an asset that will last you many, many years. So this elective topic will empower you with all the tools and ideas and the concepts that will allow you to assist adopting a maintenance culture. And hoga kya ki ye, see, understand, these are the words: maintenance, repair, asset life, valuable life, and there are tons of these terms that you will encounter when you get into the facility management. All of these have been written in our codes or in the standards. Everything will be written. But मैं आपको केवल introduce कर रहा हूँ with this new set of words so that these are the something which are the backbone of the study of facility management. So after this, I will just take you to another video which will actually, make you aware of what a facility manager does. So before that, I'd like to ask you a question. Do you guys, I asked you at the start of the lecture also, do you guys understand what does a facility manager does?
Yes, sir. Now,
yeah, please go ahead.
We can understand.
Yeah, can you just tell me what does a facility manager do? Okay, so let's watch a video to just understand. It's again a less than a minute video. Let's watch it. I interrupted it. Hold on.
Is facility management all about maintenance issue? This must be a misconception. Let me go and find out. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Ying Tong. And Celeste. I heard that FM is all about maintenance and fixing anything that is faulty in the building. Is it all about maintenance?
Facility management, they are not only a kind of repair job. All this we can leave it to the service contractor. We have bigger roles to play. We plan, we maintain, and we monitor all the equipment. Make sure the daily operation are not affected.
FM actually is close to what you see a building doctor, which actually looks at and caters to the needs and the overall health of its building and its occupants. Well, just to put a question to you, how old do you think this building is?
5 years, 5 to 10 years.
Well, it's actually as old as I am. Yeah.
Really?
So, yes,
Okay.
so it's about 20 plus years, close to 30.
This is where we have to upkeep it. And we also continue enhance the building. Make sure the building is using the latest technologies, operate more efficiently.
These days, you see new buildings coming up. How would you allow a building that is 20 years back to remain as competitive as the new buildings today? So you have to be consistently learning, knowing the industry and how it moves, and adopt all these new technologies and move along with it. It's a lot of problem solving, and as well as implementing all the solutions we have at hand and put it to action.
A building actually takes a few years to construct, but the life cycle actually goes beyond just a few years. It goes about 10, 20, 30 years. That's where the role of the FM is actually very important. Imagine a building without FM. It's just like a house without someone to take care of it. It will just be a space, but it's useless. You can't do anything in it.
We are now standing here at 6 Bed, where we're actually undergoing upgrading. So it gives you a good opportunity to just take a look at how the constant revamp as well as maintenance allow the building to remain very much as competitive as the new buildings that are around the area. This entire asset enhancement initiative actually costs.
So what was the moral of the story that you saw in the last video? I know the audio was a little bad, but what did you understand? Anybody?
It is not just about the maintenance and repairs. It is
Good.
to improve the efficiency of the building or with the new technologies.
And did you catch the part where she asked you how old is this building?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what was the learning at that stage?
To maintain and equip the building in such a way that it looks new as it is.
With new and modern technologies.
To make the building competitive.
Yes. Good. So that the tenants come back there. Tenants like to go there. Right? So let's try and answer a few questions. What does an FM do? Who cares what he does? क्या फर्क पड़ता है? And what skills does a FM manager actually need? So let's evaluate these questions. So up tak, what I've done is I made you aware of some words, and I have asked you question multiple times. Can you tell me what the facility manager actually does? And we saw this a brief of what he does, the traditional understanding in that video. Although that audio was not all that great with that kind of an accent, but still it gave us a fair amount of an idea. So think of it that you're going to a mall and you find it nice and clean. तुमको दिखता है कि वहां पे you can see that the escalators are working, the elevators are working. You find the toilets nice and clean. The AC is also working at the right temperature. So that means that somebody is working in the background and ensuring that your experience is nice and that you will come back again. Now, this is the concept that one has to understand. This is what a facility manager does. So if the facility was a small one, so the designation could be building manager, or it could be an owner who is managing the facility. He will have directly be managing it. But if the facility is large and complex, then you will have a designation of a facility manager. So I personally know a facility manager who manages 3 facilities. And I also know facility managers who manage hundreds of such locations. It just depends on the size of company. So a company like Motorola, Nokia, or these kind of companies, Microsoft, they will have hundreds of buildings across the different locations. So they need some qualified people who can handle these locations for them. And it's typically a managerial job, which will require a lot of skills. So, I would say that, okay, I'll come to those skills part a little later. But typically speaking, think of a facility manager as something or somebody that an occupant of a building will go when he faces an issue with the facility. So if a person is actually an office person, he sees the office may, oh, the air conditioner is dripping, he will call up and report it to the facility manager. If there's a security issue, if a person is not feeling safe, then he can report it to the facility manager. So अभी तक हम लोगों को इतना experience नहीं हुआ है अपनी field में to go and work with an MNC environment. But these things are already in place for these large places. If you guys are aware of the Gurgaon area, the entire buildings which are the towers, or even if you look at Hyderabad or you look at Cyberabad, you will see these buildings where all these multinational work. So all the buildings will have somebody like a building manager or a facility manager. So the role that you saw in that video was that that role will require you to maintain a contact with the service vendors. So that if case there's an air conditioning problem, you will talk to an HVAC guy. If there's a plumbing problem, you will talk to the plumber guy. And these people who are the tradesmen are not all that polished. So you will know in what language you have to talk. You will know in what tone of you will have to talk. You will know when to be harsh and when to be polite. So these facility managers are the ones who will have to develop relationships with a lot of people. But remember, they were the ones who will be responsible in their boss's eyes and in the eyes of the institution. कुछ खराब होगा तो boss की नजर केवल facility manager की तरफ जाएगी कि listen, you guys, you screwed it up. You're not doing a good job. Then the next thing you have to realize is there are costs involved. There are costs associated with R&M. R&M means repair and maintenance. So there are costs associated with it. To maintain a facility, you have to spend a lot of money. So if you look at accounting books, you will see this figure coming up कि repair और maintenance में हमने इतना expense किया है. And then this मतलब ये है कि when you decrease the R&M, you will increase the profit. So a lot of people will decide कि यार हम R&M पे इतना पैसा खर्च नहीं करेंगे and we want to increase the profits. A lot of people will say, regardless of anything, we will spend on R&M because of the good asset and the facilities, we will be able to produce and earn more money. So these are the things that is the importance of what a facility manager does. Now, in fact, इतना high demand job है ये personally. मेरे को नहीं पता कि यार, it's crazy, इतना crazily stressful है कि जब तुम्हारे पास multiple location है, मेरे को और तुमको email में hundreds of emails हर रोज आएंगी. तुम बैठे हो अगर किसी ऑफिस में एज अ यूजर, कुछ चीज काम नहीं करी तो टक 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 तुम ईमेल टाइप करोगे और भेज दोगे कि मेरे यहाँ ये नहीं काम कर रहा, मेरे यहाँ ये काम नहीं हो रहा. एंड इन अ ऑफिस वेयर यू हैव 4000 5000 पीपल, इमेजिन तुम्हारा मेल बॉक्स कितना भर जाएगा. एंड यू कैन नॉट इग्नोर इवन वन ईमेल. दैट इज द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ योर जॉब. सो यू हैव टू बी अ गुड कम्युनिकेटर. और अगर सामने वाला बंदा जो यूजर है वो ओवर कम्युनिकेटर है तो तुम्हारी तो फिर लगी गई, मैं ये बोलूंगा. Then you have to be managing communication with a lot of different vendors. You mean to say there's an HVAC vendor, refrigeration का vendor होगा, cleaning का vendor होगा, road repair का vendor होगा, repair painters होंगे, handyman होंगे, general handyman जो normal काम करते कोई भी काम कर सकते हैं, plumbers होंगे, electrician होंगे. List तो लंबी होती ही जाएगी. इन सब के साथ तुमको relationship maintain करना है, communicate करना है, और ये सारा तुम्हें करना है while keeping the R&M cost down. और तुमको याद रखना है कि तुम इंटरमीडिएटरी हो ऑपरेशन और अपर मैनेजमेंट के बीच में. द फैसिलिटी मैनेजमेंट इज द काइंड ऑफ अ वेरी स्पेशल पर्सन. एंड मेरे को नहीं मालूम मैं कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं कर पाऊंगा, बट दिस इज समथिंग दैट यू मस्ट रिमेम्बर कि इट इज अ वेरी वेरी sought after job to be a facility manager, and you have to always stay on your toes. So इसके बाद I just want to open the world of opportunities that this elective will allow you to have. Or मतलब you can see it. If you don't want to choose it, that's a part of it, but this is what you can have. Facility management का जो है, it is for everyone working in an organization जो own करता है और operate करता है assets को. So this means that the persons working in procurement, finance, personnel, service, planning, design, operation, ये सबको encompass करता है. So it is neither project management, neither it is just about maintenance. ये it involves everything related to operations and operation of the asset, कि asset को use कैसे करना है. So on the higher level, an asset could be a building. At a very detailed level, asset could be something like a computer. So ये asset को कैसे utilize करना है, the facility management इससे deal करता है. So you can see how much of opportunities that can create. So it is very important for you to understand कि coordination of space, infrastructure and development, मतलब जितना भी people and organization है, ये सारा कुछ इसमें involve होता है. So you can be for a public office building, it can be for a school, it can be for a complex, convention center, hospital, hotel, सब जगह use होता है. Retail हो, residential हो, commercial हो, industrial हो, warehousing हो, हर एक तरह की occupancy में होता है. तो इसका क्या मतलब है? You remember that a lot of people, lot of organizations have invested money in creating the facilities to do business. Or the investments are very large and huge. So they need to protect it to keep them operational. और उसके लिए तुमको बहुत सारे skills, money और strategy चाहिए होती है. तो अगर correctly implement करेंगे तो facility management can deliver a safe, productive and a very humane and a cost effective environment दे सकते हैं to different people who are using it. और this practice, FN practice, can also enhance the skill of people within the facility management sectors. मतलब create कर सकती है career opportunities, नए style of working create कर सकती है. जैसे अभी कोविड के समय में नया style of working चाहिए. You need a lot of people to manage the facilities. नया तरीके invent करने पड़ेंगे, कैसे करें. तो all of this will actually benefit and enhance an organization की image. लोग करते क्यों हैं, companies क्यों spend करती हैं? Because a good facility management will enhance the organization's image. जैसे आज के दिन में हमने बहुत बार सुना है गूगल के ऑफिस में काम करना is like very वो मतलब big thing to do कि सब कुछ मिलता है वहां पे, you don't have to leave the campus and all. ये सब कैसे possible है? क्योंकि उन लोग ने इतना इन्वेस्टमेंट किया है फैसिलिटी मैनेजमेंट में कि उनकी इमेज बन गई है कि इट इज अ गो टू प्लेस जहाँ पे बैठ के काम करना है. इमेजिन वर्किंग इन एन ऑफिस जहाँ पे टॉयलेट्स क्लीन नहीं हो. इमेजिन दैट सिचुएशन. तो ये सब चीजें ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विल स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ मनी विलिंगली ऑन मेंटेनिंग अ फैसिलिटी एंड टू हैव अ प्रॉपर एसेट एंड अ फैसिलिटी मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम. नाउ एसेट और फैसिलिटी मैनेजमेंट में दोनों चीजें आती हैं, दो तरह की चीजें आती हैं, प्लानिंग एंड मैनेजमेंट होता है और वाइड रेंज ऑफ सर्विसेज होती हैं. कुछ होती है हार्ड सर्विसेज, कुछ होती है सॉफ्ट सर्विसेज. सो व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट हार्ड सर्विसेज, इट मीन्स कि बिल्डिंग से रिलेटेड, बिल्डिंग का फैब्रिक के बारे में, बिल्डिंग की सर्विसेज के बारे में. सॉफ्ट सर्विसेज का मतलब होता है केटरिंग, क्लीनिंग, सिक्योरिटी, मेल रूम, ये सारी चीजें, कोरियर कहाँ पे आ रहा है, कैसे आ रहा है. और इन सब के लिए मैनेजमेंट जो चाहिए होता है, उसके लिए लॉट्स ऑफ पीपल स्किल्स चाहिए. सो आई वुड से टेक माय वर्ड फॉर इट कि the amount of money that you can make as a facility in charge is far greater than what you will make as an architect or an engineer. So if you can manage and learn the skills जो ये elective दे रहा है तुमको, you can soon, probably in next 5 years, 7 years, you can start your own facility management company, or you could be a big employer also. So आज के दिन में lot of people scoff at this idea, but by the time you graduate and skill yourself, you know you'll be the front runner. जो होते हैं first मतलब ये अभी वो टाइम है जहाँ पे ट्रांजिशन हो रहा है सब कुछ का. So if you are the first person to arrive at the scene, you'll benefit a lot from this field of facility management. Okay, I have another slide, but before that, okay, let me just go quickly to the slide. I will not spend much time because we are over exceeding the lecture time. So एसेट को हमने बोला है कि एसेट के एक टर्म हमारे बार बार यूज हो रहा था. तो एसेट वो चीज है, इट्स अ यूजफुल एंड अवेलेबल थिंग और अ आइटम ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी दैट इज ओन्ड बाय समथिंग. तो कोई यूजफुल चीज हो, कोई वैल्यूएबल चीज हो, और एन आइटम विच इज ओन्ड बाय समबडी इज कॉल्ड एन एसेट. और हम किसी चीज को एसेट तभी बोलेंगे जब उसकी लाइफ 1 साल से ज्यादा हो. ये बिल्डिंग के टर्म्स की बात कर रहा हूँ. व्हेन आई सी, जब मैं यूज कर रहा हूँ वैल्यू, तो मतलब उसकी वैल्यू ऐसी होनी चाहिए ताकि इट कैन मीट सम डेट एंड कमिटमेंट्स. ठीक है, या वो कोई परफॉर्म कर सके प्री डिटरमाइंड फंक्शन की यूजर्स के लिए. तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में 5 तरह के एसेट्स होते हैं. ह्यूमन एसेट्स होते हैं, इंफॉर्मेशन एसेट्स होते हैं, फाइनेंशियल एसेट्स होते हैं, इनटेंजिबल एसेट्स होते हैं जैसे रेप्यूटेशन, मॉरल एंड ऑल. पर हम लोग बात करें केवल फिजिकल एसेट्स की. ठीक है, तो फिजिकल एसेट्स का मतलब होता है थिंग और वैल्यूएबल थिंग या प्रॉपर्टी जो कोई ओन करता है, काम की चीज होती है. देन फैसिलिटी का मतलब होता है कि कोई चीज जो पर्पसफुली किसी स्पेसिफिक पर्पस के लिए बनाई जाती है और उसका यूज डिटरमाइंड होता है प्री डिटरमाइंड पर्पसेस के हिसाब से. और फैसिलिटी हमेशा एक टैंजिबल एसेट होता है. तो टैंजिबल का मतलब आपको मालूम है क्या है? टैंजिबल का मतलब है समथिंग विच इज फिजिकल. अब हम इन दोनों वर्ड्स को जब ज्वाइन करते हैं, एसेट एंड फैसिलिटी को मैनेजमेंट के साथ ज्वाइन करते हैं, तो वी एनकाउंटर समथिंग कॉल्ड फैसिलिटी मैनेजमेंट या एसेट मैनेजमेंट. तो इसकी भी बहुत सारी डेफिनेशन आ जाती है कि इंटीग्रेशन होता है एक प्रोसेस का विद इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड ऑल. देयर विल लॉट ऑफ थ्योरी दैट विल गोज इन इट. सो तुम इतना याद रख लो कि फैसिलिटी मैनेजमेंट इज अबाउट अ प्रोसेस फॉर टेकिंग केयर ऑफ थिंग्स ऑफ वैल्यूज इन एंड अराउंड द फैसिलिटी. मतलब इन द फैसिलिटी एंड अराउंड द फैसिलिटी को मिला के जो चीजों को मैनेज करना होता है उसको हम फैसिलिटी मैनेजमेंट कहते हैं. इसके साथ साथ एक और वर्ड होता है ऑपरेशनल स्ट्रेटेजी. मतलब जो तुम स्ट्रेटेजी यूज कर सकते हो या अप्रोच यूज करते हो टू मैनेज अ फैसिलिटी, उसको ऑपरेशनल स्ट्रेटेजी कहते हैं. ठीक है, सो आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू रश थ्रू इट. अब होता है एनबीसी. तो हमारा एनबीसी में एक पार्ट है, पार्ट 12, ये इससे डील करता है. तो इसके अंदर डेफिनेशंस दी हुई हैं हर एक वर्ड की कि एसेट का क्या डेफिनेशन है, बिल्डिंग एसेट का क्या मतलब है, एसोसिएटेड सर्विसेज की क्या डेफिनेशन है, ये सब इसके फर्स्ट सेक्शन में दी हुई हैं. सो इसके अंदर ये भी दिया हुआ है कि यू नो इट हैज डिफरेंट पार्ट्स. सो वन ऑफ द पार्ट डील्स विद द मेंटेनेंस ऑफ ऑल टाइप्स ऑफ फैसिलिटीज एंड फिक्स्ड एसेट्स इनसाइड द बिल्डिंग्स. डेफिनेशंस के अलावा कैसे आपको बिल्डिंग्स को मेंटेन करना है वो सब दिया हुआ है. इसके अलावा इसमें प्रोविजंस दिए हुए हैं, क्रिटिकल एक्टिविटीज जो आपको मैनेज करनी है, फैसिलिटी मैनेजर मैनेज करेगा, वो सब दिया हुआ है. एंड लास्टली इसमें रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज लिखी हुई हैं कि हर एक बंदे की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी क्या है. देन इफ यू लुक एट डिटेल्स, इसमें दिया हुआ है कि चेकलिस्ट दी हुई हैं या फॉर्मेट्स दिए हुए हैं किसी चीज को इंस्पेक्शन करने के. सो ऑन द कंक्लूडिंग नोट आई विल से वन थिंग कि इवन इन सीपीडब्ल्यूडी का सिस्टम जो है उसमें भी एक चीज दी हुई है कि द फीस दैट अ गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग टू स्पेंड ऑन मेंटेनेंस एंड फैसिलिटी मैनेजमेंट इज मच ग्रेटर देन व्हाट दे विल पे to architects or engineers. ये याद रखना. तो मेंटेनेंस के लिए जो उन लोग ने अपने बजट में खर्चा बांध के रखा होगा, that will be more than what they will pay the engineers and architects. And the last slide is this one, कि there is some international standard. So standard का मतलब होता है कि it is an agreed way of doing something. So it can be about a service, it could be about a product. So standard is a agreed way of doing something. तो स्टैंडर्ड्स में बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस डॉक्यूमेंट्स होते हैं जो एक्सपर्ट्स ने बनाए होते हैं. तो वैसे ही एक है आईएसओ का स्टैंडर्ड 41001. तो दिस इज द लेटेस्ट वर्जन जो 2018 में आया था. इट इज मेड बाय आईएसओ एंड दिस इज विद दिस इज द लास्ट स्लाइड एंड आई थिंक सो वी कैन डू अ क्विक रिकैप. कैन यू जस्ट समबडी जस्ट प्लीज हेल्प मी? दर्शित, गणेश, कोई भी आप में से कोई बोल सकता है?
So we started with a video.
Right.
Then the understanding of COBE.
Yeah.
Construction, operation, building information action. And then we had a brief of culture and vision versus this maintenance and repair. So what's the difference between them? And then we understood what actually building facilities mean in terms of a video, and then what career options can we have. And finally learned about the NBC code for building facilities, that is NBC Part 12 and other standard international standards for NBC for building facilities management.
Yeah, we looked at the definition of an asset and a facility. और फिर हमने देखा कि NBC में definitions दी हुई हैं. We looked at all those things. Right. And we were also made aware of the international standards. All right.
Sir.
Okay. So thank you for attending this class. And with this, I would like to just conclude my lecture on this. Kranti sir.
Sir, so thank you very much.
You're most welcome, Kranti sir.
I'll get back in touch with you on mobile.
All right. Okay, guys. Enjoy your rest of the semester.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.